When I was 17, I made what I still consider to be the dumbest decision of my whole life. In spite of the fact that I got good grades in school, and in spite of the fact that most of my friends were heading off there, I decided not to go to college. You see, I had a bigger dream than that. I was playing in a rock band at the time and thought I was going to be the next John Lennon. I was going to change the world with my music, and I wouldn't be needing any college degree to do that. So I did the whole struggling rock star thing for a few years, but eventually had to concede that John really was a one-off, and I was going to have to get a real job and find some other way to change the planet. And as happens to most of us, the mundane matters of life took over. Wife, kids, a house in the burbs, and maintaining that lifestyle on what was little more than a high school education was much more difficult for me than it might have been had I not made that stupid decision back when I was a teenager. Progress in a conventional career was always going to be stymied by the lack of a degree, so I chose the path of entrepreneurship. I was okay at it, but not good enough to get rich. I was a decent salesman, but not one of those superstars. Instead, I worked long hours, took on extra clients, and fought off bill collectors when I had to. I somehow managed to keep things together, but it was always such a struggle. Suffice it to say, changing the world slipped down pretty far on my long to-do list. Throughout all those years, the one issue I was always most passionate about was the environment. If I was ever going to change the world, this would be the area in which I'd like to do it. But what could I do? The people who were leading the charge were all highly educated. They were either scientists studying the extent of the problem, or engineers coming out with technological solutions, or successful entrepreneurs like Ted Turner using their wealth to fund environmental causes. I was none of those things. I was a hardworking, reasonably smart, middle-aged guy, desperately wanting to leave some sort of legacy before I died, but who hardly had time to step off the hamster wheel, let alone find the energy to save the planet. Then I heard some report that planting 1 trillion trees would help us take a giant step in fighting climate change. It was put out by some highfalutin scientists from some ivory tower in Switzerland, and they built some sophisticated computer model to figure all this stuff out. And I immediately thought, guys, will you just keep it simple? The average person on the street doesn't even know how many zeros there are in 1 trillion, let alone how to go about planting that many trees. Just divide that number by the number of people in the world and tell us how many trees we will have to plant. Simple, right? Now, I may not be a mathematician, but I can do arithmetic. And the number is 130. And right there, in that simple, not very large number, I found the purpose I'd been looking for. If I could find a way to help every person on the planet plant just 130 trees, maybe I could change the world after all. So if you're like me, and you want to do your part to fight climate change, but you just don't know what to do, join me at my Facebook page, 130 Trees. We're working together to change the world, and we don't need no college degrees to do it.